Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Wishing you a beautiful and fabulous Monday. Today we're talking all about happiness. So, I'd like to ask everybody if you're here, just say hello. Say hello. Let me know you're here. And that you're here. Put a comment maybe where you're from, right? And today we're going to be discussing happiness. All about happiness, discovering happiness. Now, you might think to yourself, what is this guy going on and on about happiness, this, that? What is happiness? Well, we're going to cover that. We're going to cover what true happiness is all about. Not just happiness that's dependent. Hi, Maya, how you doing? From Toronto, nice to see you. Happiness that's not dependent on certain circumstances, certain conditions that might be happening in your day, whether it's your work, whether it's your family, relationships, perhaps your health. You see, a lot of times people tend to, um, good. Everybody say hello, say hello. If you're here, let me know. Let me know. I want to make this more engageable. I want to, make this more interactive. I'd like to encourage whoever is going to watch the recording, if you can't make it live, if you're not here with me right now, leave your comments anyways. I'd love to interact back and forth with you guys. So, back to what I was saying. A lot of times we tend to place our happiness dependent on a certain outcome, certain something that's going on in our life, whether it's something that happened at work, whether we closed the deal, whether our boss was good to us or not, whether our employees were paying attention and doing what we want from them, many different circumstances, and then we kind of let that dictate our happiness. And that kind of runs through the whole day with us. The happiness that I want to talk to you about and what I want to share information about is something that I've discovered through years of study, meditation, learning about quantum physics, the biology of the body, the cellular structure, how our mind operates. Because tell you a little bit of a story about my background. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've had many businesses in my lifetime, and the last business that I had before getting into the self-development industry, before becoming a coach, a mentor, teacher to others, of information that I've been blessed to gather, I had a huge investment company. And around the turn of '08, '09, so this is going back a while, maybe 10 years, one day my multi-million dollar business came to a complete halt and pretty much ended overnight. So not only did I go from being a millionaire to being $500,000 in debt and having over $5 million outstanding that is gone from friends, family, relatives, loved ones. And the short end of it, it ended up being in a 3-year class action lawsuit. And you can imagine that journey was not a pleasant one, right? However, and my happiness was very much dependent on that because I allowed it to control my thinking. I allowed it, hey Lynn, how you doing? I allowed it to get into my head. And it started really affecting my happiness overall. I was worried, I was stressed. I allowed that to control my happiness towards my family, my loved ones. I was not a happy person, I was not a nice person. Until I started discovering some things and learning some things and really diving into how energy works, our mind works, and self-development. And I discovered that my happiness can be there regardless of what's going on. It didn't matter what happened to the business. It didn't matter what happened to the money. I used to base my happiness on the goodies I used to buy with the money I was earning from the business. I used to base my happiness on the next deal that I closed, on the next round of funding that I raised. I used to base my happiness on what my wife would say, what my children are doing, or what my family called me and said or did, and it was always dependent on something outside. And then I came to realize that that's not important because everything that you have coming to you in your life happens when you're happy. and you are in charge of your own happiness. You can actually dictate your own happiness, regardless of what's going on in circumstances. You could just choose to feel happy. It's a feeling. Now, underlying that, something that's not dependent on anything to do with outside, is joy. So if we can live in a state of joy, we can bring out the happiness that's going on inside and share it on to others. And I'm here to share with you guys and promise you that when you discover how to raise your level of vibration, raise your feeling inside, and become happy no matter what is going on in your life, everything that you want in your life starts to move towards you. Your business runs better. You start to attract more clients and more money. You start to enjoy money in a very different way because you're no longer just buying things or spending your money to try and get happiness. You're doing it the other way around. You're feeling happy and you're enjoying the great rewards that come from you serving others. You seek pleasure from just sharing the best that's in you. That's what I'm talking about when I, speak about happiness. This is why I wanted to do this 5-day, you call it challenge, you call it whatever you like, but this is why I decided to come on here and share live with you guys every day this week some tools and ideas that have come to me that have helped me seek that true joy and happiness inside. I was able to go about my day waking up in the morning full of gratitude, full of happiness, being able to know that I can become the best version of myself and bring myself to others so I can help them become the best version of themselves, which automatically reciprocated into more happiness. Isn't that amazing? You find happiness inside, and all of a sudden everything outside of you seems to flow in a nice, easy way. Imagine you spend time with your loved ones, your family, your children, your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend. Imagine when you come with happiness and joy and you share that with employees or fellow co-workers or clients. Imagine you bring that to the heads of the company. Imagine you share that with your partners in your company. All of a sudden, your happiness projects onto others, and they have no choice but to feel happy because you're bringing that joy onto them. You're making that business operate better because of your state of mind. Not your state of mind is there because of the business. It's the other way around. And it took me a while to figure that one out. What about health? Maybe you're not in the best health that you want. Maybe you're not living in the body that you truly dreamed of. Maybe you're not as fit as you thought you would be at a certain age. But is it dependent on what you see on the TV or in the magazines that's affecting the way you feel about yourself and thinking? Is it destroying your happiness because you're allowing outside circumstances to control what's going on? I know a lot of people that are doing that. I was guilty of the same thing. I used to go to the gym and work myself silly because I wanted to build a body that was more superficial, that was more on an external basis, especially when I was younger. When I was in college, I used to do split routines. Go to the gym in the morning, then go to the gym after college, after school. So I could do the split routine, so I could just become Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then I realized, what the hell am I doing? I'm doing it to seek happiness throughout showing off and attracting, the comments or the whatever it is that came from outside. And that didn't matter because when I was receiving it, I was happy. And when nobody was noticing, I was not happy. I was yin and yang, up and down. That's not a way to live life. Pounding myself twice a day, every day. So ask yourself, are you seeking approval of others? Because I was. Are you seeking for that approval, for that comment, for that kind word? Are you looking for others to make your day a better day? Because if you are, it's going to be a very challenged day. Because you can't change others. And the only thing you can change is yourself. You can't make others happy. by trying to get them to do something to make you happy. You need to be internally happy. You need to feel that joy inside, knowing that you are an infinite being, living at your optimal best way every day. And then as you bring that on to others, all of a sudden, you smile, they smile. You're nice, they're nice. You're kind, they're kind. You give approval and acceptance and see the good in everybody. And then you don't need to seek approval from anybody. You don't need any of that because you're so confident inside of yourself, because you know that you're living with joy, because you know you're bringing happiness to the world, and because you know that you're playing out at your absolute best. That is a nice way to live life. I've been able to establish multiple sources of income, make more money than I used to make before, enjoy my money in a much deeper, more meaningful way, be able to help others, give others, be able to do things with my family that I wasn't able to do before. Perhaps you're that entrepreneur who's pushing so hard, who's trying so hard, who's chasing so hard that you're neglecting the most important thing in your life. You're neglecting either your health or your loved ones. You're giving up all your time for the money or for that success, whatever your definition of success may be. I heard the best definition of success. It's never changed a single word since Earl Nightingale, who's considered the grandfather of self-development, back in the 50s said, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Imagine that. Success is the progressively moving towards the realization of your worthy ideal. Your worthy ideal is an idea that you fall in love with. An idea that is so deep and meaningful to you that you truly want to have that in your life. And as you progressively move towards it every day and realize the manifestation of it in your life through your work, through your relationships, through the connections that you're making, through the people that you're serving, all of a sudden there's more depth in your life. All of a sudden, you're successful. So I got one to add to that. I'm going to change that just slightly. I don't want to change his words because they're the best definition you've ever heard of success. But I'm going to just add one word to it. Success is the progressive realization. Sorry, I'm screwing that up. Success is progressively, happily moving towards the realization of your worthy ideal. I just wanted to add the word happily in there, happiness in there. Because as you happily, internally, joyously, moving progressively towards the realization of your ideal, every part of your life, every dream that you want starts to move towards you. I know you probably heard that. It sounds like airy-fairy stuff. A lot of this is like, what is this guy going on and on about? I promise you guys, this has worked time and time again in my life. I tend to share information not because I read it in a book, not because I heard it in the news, not because I saw it on YouTube, because I tested it on myself. And only then do I have the right, the permission, the pleasure of sharing it with others. Because I've seen it manifest in my life. I've seen it work in my life. I've seen the results that come from having true internal peace, joy, and happiness, and have shared it on to others all around me. I seem to attract people who are in positive vibration because I'm in a positive vibration. Wasn't like that. When I had that crash with the business, man, the first 5 years moving from that business, everything I touched seemed to collapse in front of me. I don't know why. Well, now I know actually why, but I didn't know at the time why. It's because I was miserable. I did not have happiness inside of me. I did not have that internal joy that would attract more of what I want to me. I actually was pushing so hard that I was actually pushing away everything that I wanted. And I never understood that. Why is it that I can write a goal down? Why is it that I can say what I want and share with others? This is what I want to create. And yet, when I want to have that in my life, it just doesn't seem to come. I've had so many businesses since then. Some were okay, some were not. Some did well, some I sold. It didn't matter. I did not find what I was seeking for because I was always looking for something outside to bring me joy and happiness back. And then I realized, wait a second, hold on a second. You're doing this backwards, Ellie. You're doing this completely backwards. You need to find that happiness. You need to be in that state of mind, and then you can bring it into your life. And then what you want has to come to you. It has to by law. One of the most amazing laws I've ever heard and discovered, Emerson called it the law of laws. I'm talking about universal laws. I'm not talking about the one where, oh, Ellie, you ran a stop sign, here's a ticket. That's a man-made law. Tomorrow they can change that sign or that law, and there won't be a ticket. Universal laws don't change. They're God's modus operandi. They're God's way of making the universe work. So that one law that I'm referring to, Emerson called the law of laws, is cause and effect. Every cause has an effect. Every effect must have a cause. And that is when everything changed. When I understood that my happiness that I was seeking as an effect, but had an underlying cause of no happiness, because I was dependent on what's going on outside of me. I was dependent on what was going to happen. I was dependent on whether the next deal would come through or not. I was dependent on what my wife would tell me or what my kids would tell me. I was dependent on what friends thought of me. I was dependent on what I was seeing in the mirror or not seeing. Everything had to do with playing with my happiness. Until one day I said, no. Hold on a second. What's the cause? How do I create the right cause so I can change all the effects in my life? And that's when things started shifting. Suddenly deals started coming through. Suddenly new things that I was involved in seemed to work out. Suddenly the people that I needed in my life seemed to show up. I met incredible people throughout my journey. I've created deep, meaningful relationships because I became a nicer guy. I became happy. I brought that happiness onto others, and it just went on and on and on. I got into the best shape of my life because it didn't matter what the effect was. It was the cause. What was I doing to create being in the best shape of my life? And then it just showed up. What was I doing to create the abundance and the prosperity and the businesses that I wanted? And then they showed up. What was the cause of my happiness and joy? And as that came to be real, the effects started showing up. And I had more and more to be happy about. And this is why I wanted to share it with you guys. It really is an inside game first. Inside out, and as my mentor Bob Proctor says, upside down. It comes from above to below. It comes from the inside to outside. One of the things that you got to understand has to do with also another law called the law of vibrations. Let's say, for example, what you want is on 104.5 as a radio station, and you're trying to get there, right? I'm just using the radio station as an example for frequencies, right? The most amazing life of joy and happiness and everything you want is at 104.5. Now, you could just simply tune in to that level and you will have everything you want on that frequency. However, if you don't have that internal happiness in you, if you don't have that joy in you, if you're letting the news, corona, the people, the government, the politics, the clients, the deals, whatever it may be, control the way you feel inside, you're keeping yourself tuned in on 99.9, for instance, right? How can you ever enjoy anything that's going on 104.5 if you continuously stay stuck like a broken knob at 99.9? Hope that makes sense. You need to simply change the dial and tune yourself up to 104.5 if you want to have those things in your life. Happiness, joy, no matter what. Hey Az, how are you? Hey guys, sorry, I'm talking, I'm not seeing the messages. Guys, thank you. Thank you for posting in here. Share where you're from, by the way. And if you have any questions, so here's what I'd like to do before I move forward. I'm going to be live every day this week at 12 o'clock. I'm going to be sharing all the information that I can with you guys so I can help you. Not just information, not just blah, 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 blah. I'm going to give you some tools. And with this video, I put in the link, a download for the implementation guide. And the reason I did that is I want you guys to be able to follow along with me. I want you to be able to do some of the exercises in there because those are the tools that are going to help you bring out that joy and happiness in you so you can wake up in the morning with an amazing smile on your face. So you can right away jump into your day feeling good, feeling happy. And as you move throughout your day, you're going to be amazed at the things that come around you. You're going to be amazed at how people respond to you. Notice how I said respond, not react. Animals react. Humans, thinking ones, respond. But we all feel a certain frequency vibration, which is what I was talking about. And when they feel that pleasantness in you, when they feel that joy and happiness come from you, then people start to respond to you in a kind, loving, and amazing way. And that is the response that you want. You want people to be able to respond to you in a kind, loving way. How are you going to get that? By you being a kind, loving person. By you having natural joy and happiness inside of you. So I'm going to talk every day. On Thursday, here's what I want you guys to do. If this messaging resonates with you, if you see what you like in the implementation guide, and I'm going to share some amazing stuff with you. On Thursday, I'm going to announce a giveaway and a special promotional thing that I'm doing for all of you for joining me to help you discover true internal happiness. And on Friday, I'm going to run a Q&A. So what I'd like to do is ask you to please, if you have any questions, if you want any depth into the information that I'm going to be sharing, because we are going to try to keep this under an hour, right? I know you guys are busy and I totally appreciate and respect your time. So I'd like to save the questions till Friday. Not only that, some of the questions that might come up, you might find the answer in them, first of all, in yourself, which usually tends to happen. But also, aside from that, you might hear the answer to one of those questions on tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday. So please take notes of what you want to know more about, take notes of what you want to ask, and I'd be so happy to share all the time on Friday. I'm going to go as long as we need to on Friday and answer all your questions because I truly want you to find that happiness. Now, getting back to what I was saying, the frequencies. By finding that joy and happiness in you, you're no longer stuck on one level of vibration. You can tune yourself to that 104.5 and get back to what you want. What I did when I discovered this information is I just naturally took myself from being in a low frequency, very, very low frequency, like we're talking about a radio not even having that kind of dial, because of everything that was going on in my life. I mean, 3 years of a class action lawsuit, you can imagine that. You know, it was not a happy place. But that frequency allowed me to not see anything that I wanted. Everything was miserable. Everything was bad. Everything was negative. Everything was worry and doubt and fear. Until I flipped that and I realized, wait a minute, I'm in charge of my feelings. I'm in charge of what's happening inside. It's not someone else. It's not something else. It's me. All right? So, if it's me, how do I change that? And I did that. I changed it. And I'm going to share with you what I did. Right? I'm going to share one of those tools today. I'm going to share another tool with you tomorrow. I'm going to share the most important information that I've been blessed to learn on the next day. And then we're going to sum it all up so you can actually take it and implement it into your life. Because I want you, my friend, to be happy. I want me to be happy. I want you to be happy. And it'd be nice if everyone in this world that we live in would be happy, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it make a better business partnership? Wouldn't it make more for health? Imagine if you get into the best mood in your life. Wouldn't you naturally want to put nice, clean fuel in your mouth? Wouldn't you care to eat better and take care of yourself better when you're naturally in a happy state? If you're good here, everything else is good. If you're not good here, nothing else works. It's just the way it is. Cause and effect. First cause to all things is your thoughts, is your mind. And we're going to be discussing the mind. We're going to discuss the mind a lot on Wednesday. Okay? For those of you who have the implementation guide, I broke it down actually. What we're talking about today, tomorrow, and next day. Today we're covering the basics. The basics is, what is happiness? Happiness is a natural state that you can be in. Joy is what you actually are after, because joy is a state non-dependent on what's going on outside of you, and that naturally makes you happy. When you're happy, you smile. When you're happy, you're less tense. When you're happy, you're in a positive vibration. When you're happy, you're attracting other people who are happy. When you're happy, you say kind words. When you're happy, you don't snap. When you're happy, you respond. You don't react like an animal. When you're happy, you can decide on what you want. All these things come to you in a beautiful, beautiful vibration every day. And when you wake up happy and run your day that way, you can go to sleep at night knowing that you've been the best that you could be. And then share that happiness with everyone around you and go to sleep at night thanking God for another chance to do it again tomorrow. One of the ways to truly get happiness is gratitude. One of the biggest things you can do in your life as a gift to yourself and a gift to the infinite, the divine, your creator or creation of all things, is gratitude. When you're grateful for what you have, the universe naturally wants to give you more of it. One of the things that I missed out on when all this happened to me, when all this upside down stuff happened, is I lost connection with gratitude. I was too upset about it. I was too pissed off about it. I was too angry about it. I started blaming others, and the last thing on my mind was to be grateful for what I still had. I had my health. I had my family. I had my loved ones. I still had my home. I was able to stay in Toronto because everybody did get their money back. And I was able to build other sources of income and be able to pull back out of my debt and get back on my feet. Can you imagine how much I had to be grateful for? My body, every part of me working, hot water every time I turn on the tap, beautiful clean air, nice country to live in. All these things, if you practice gratitude on a daily basis, it automatically takes you from that 99.9 frequency and flips you on a much, much higher frequency. It connects you to the source energy of all things. If you want more business, be grateful for the business that you have until now. If you want more health, be grateful for whatever health you have now. If you're not having the business you want, be grateful for it as well, because the natural forces of the universe will have to make it better, because you're already grateful that you're learning and growing from what's happening. You're already grateful that you still have your version of health to get better health. You're already grateful for the loved ones and relationships that you have in your life so you can have better relationships. And that is what happens. Whatever you have in your life at this point, there's always better. Always. One of the things that I included in the implementation guide is a gratitude pad. It's one paper, you can print it out. I would suggest printing out several of them, like I'm talking about 365 of them, right? So you can actually practice it on a daily basis. Okay, I want to read to you. I also put a sheet that explains a little bit about gratitude. One sentence that came from The Science of Getting Rich, a book by Wallace D. Wattles. It's actually the book that inspired Rhonda Burns to do The Secret, which touched billions of lives. One of the things he said is, the whole process of mental attunement and adjustment can be summed up in one word: gratitude. So the whole process of mental adjustment and attunement can be summed up in one word: gratitude. When you're grateful, everything happens in sequence because you're creating good cause, and good cause must have good effect. Bad cause can never create a good effect. So you pick. Remember the vibrations I talked about. Test yourself. See what's going on in your mind first thing in the morning. And the first thing in the morning that should be going on through your mind is the 10 things you're most grateful for, which is what is in that gratitude pad that I share in the implementation guide. The other thing that you can do is you can sit quietly for just 5 minutes before you run out, before you go about your day, before you let all the stuff that is in your head take over. 5 minutes. Sit down, be quiet, and ask for guidance. Decide what you want. Be grateful for what you have and be grateful for what is to come based on what you want. And then ask for guidance. Ask for downloads. Ask for spirit to show you the way. Stop trying to figure everything out for yourself. That was the other big mistake I made. I kept trying to figure everything out myself. Because, I mean, you know, we all have an ego. We all have our human monkey brain. Like, I don't need no one. I know what to do. I can figure this out on my own. No, you can't. No, you can't. If you think you got to go right and then right again, the universe might have a different plan and tell you to go left. Because you might find the person, thing, or connection or what you're seeking when you go to the left. But your thinking said to go to the right. So that's why we ask for guidance. And then the next thing is send love to those who bother you. And the reason to do that is not so much to forgive the person that might be bothering you. And sometimes it's very hard to send love to the one who's bothering you or is creating your negative state. But it's not about forgiving them. It's not about letting them go. It's about letting go from within you that energy that shouldn't be there in the first place. Because when you feel that towards the other person, that other person is going about their business as if nothing happened. That other person is going about their day, not even thinking about you. But inside of you, there's that build-up, that energetic insanity that's going on. Your chakras are all over the place. How can you possibly intend to have a good effect with that kind of cause? And that's why when we let go, when we forgive, abandon, and we ask for guidance, and we say our gratitude, and we're thankful for everything that we have so that we can multiply it. And it's like interest, it's compounded. Every time you're grateful for something, it's compounded. You get more to be grateful for, which naturally brings you more joy and happiness. Isn't that amazing? The gratitude part is what sets you in the right vibration. The happiness part is a result of that. The happiness within brings you more happiness without. I hope this is making sense, and I hope this has been one of the biggest changes that has happened. Guys, let me know if you're still here. Let me know. Is this making sense? I'm just going to give it a second and see what the responses are. You know, are you practicing gratitude? Let's say a one for yes, 2 for no. How about that? You know, are you doing your daily meditation or practice? of gratitude, of asking for what you want, of feeling the happiness inside as though you already have it. That's a big one too, right? Check out the list of what happiness or gratitude does for us. What are the benefits of gratitude? Number one, increased happiness and positive mood. That's exactly what we're talking about this whole week. Number two, more satisfaction with life. Number three, less materialistic. That was a big one. I stopped depending on material things to make me happy. I started being happy, and all the material things I wanted just naturally started coming. I've had more access to them. I made more money, so I'm able to get them. Right? Less likely to experience burnout. That's a big one. Are you the entrepreneur who's burning out because you're trying to burn the candle on both ends? Because you're pushing so hard, because you're trying to figure it out on your own, and because you think the more you go at it and the more you push against it, the more you're going to get? Wrong. You need to sit and be grateful. You need to bring the happiness. When I did that, everything changed. I was that entrepreneur pushing so hard, didn't know what to do with myself. There weren't enough hours in the day for me to push more, just in case, because then I can get more. No, man. I had to step back for a moment. I had to look at the picture instead of be in the picture. And I had to discover my own gratitude and happiness in order to bring and attract more of that. Better physical health. That was a big one, absolutely. Today I'm 50 and I am in better shape and better health and look better than I did in my 20s. That is not by accident. That is by pure design. That is because of gratitude and happiness that go hand in hand. And that is the cause that I create every day in my life. And that cause must create the effect that I see in the mirror every day. Better sleep. Absolutely. When you go and rest at night and you say thank you again for the whole day and you have that state of happiness the whole day, and you know that you crushed it at work, that you created all the things you wanted to, that you got all the deals done, that you got your employees to do what you wanted, that you got your co-workers to cooperate with you, that you had a great day with your boss or whatever it is, right? All that comes together and brings you a lot of happiness, right? Less fatigue. You feel less tired when you're in a state of happiness and joy. You're not down. You want to express yourself. You want to jump up and down in joy and share it with others. You feel less fatigue. You can go on and on and on, right? Lower levels of cellular inflammation. Inflammation is a big one for the body. Inflammation, just so you guys understand a little something to it, because I'm a health nut. So for me, I tie the mind into this machine called the body, because it's all one and the same. We're all energy. Inflammation is like taking a grenade, pulling the pin and shoving it down your mouth so it can go inside your body. On a cellular micro level, you are bursting. So inflammation is a big one. How do you keep inflammation down? You're thinking. When you're in a happy state, when you're in natural joy, not dependent on what's going on outside, you're in a natural, relaxed state. When you practice gratitude and letting go and asking for guidance, you're naturally in this calm state. Your body can function better. Your cells function better. You look younger. You feel younger. You speak better. You're better to others. You create more in your life. Abundance starts to show up in your life. It's all hand in hand, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Greater resilience. When you're in a natural state of gratitude and happiness is in your life, you're resilient to what's going on outside of you. You just don't give a right? I don't mean in a negative way. You actually do. You care more for others than ever before, but you just don't give a right? Because it's no longer about that. It's not a matter of what he said, she said, he did, she did. It's got nothing to do with that. Right? Encourage the development of patience, humility, and wisdom. Isn't that beautiful? Gratitude encourages a development within yourself of natural patience. You're more relaxed, you're more open. Humility, you're not a big, you practice humility and wisdom because of the downloads, because of the information that comes to you naturally from asking for guidance, from being grateful and receiving more ideas to be grateful for and more things to be grateful for. And you naturally grow in your wisdom. These are incredible things. So I recommend that put that into practice, even tonight. How about tonight, if you're joining me tomorrow at noon, let's share tomorrow, first thing, what we were grateful for tonight. How did our day go based on what we learned? What is it that we created based on what we discussed today? And then tomorrow we can look forward to it. So please leave your messages, like I said, even in the recording. Put in your comments. I'll be happy to read them. If you have any questions, let me know. Hold your questions till Friday if you have them written down. And for those of you who haven't had a chance to get the implementation guide, please go to the link that is at this video and get the guide. In there you will find the list of what I was talking about, the beautiful parts about gratitude, the gratitude pad where you can write down the 10 things you're grateful for, and the exercises we just talked about. As well, you'll see some questions that will help you truly understand what is the level of happiness and vibration in you. Are you at 99.9 or are you tuning yourself to 104.5 where it's all happening? I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was truly an honor. I loved it. Thank you so much for letting me share this information with you, for joining me today. Have a blessed and wonderful day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. By the way, if anybody wants to connect with me directly before I get off, just DM me. Send me a message. I'd be happy to discuss with you any ideas, anything I can further offer you in terms of tools, something that's on your mind that you want to privately talk to me about. No issue. Nothing involved, no strings attached, just want to share information. Okay? So reach out to me and I'll see you guys tomorrow.